No One Will Save You, now known as the horror movie without dialogue. I fully expected this to be garbage, and this is not what I'd expected. In this climate of horror, it's hard, man. Business is tough out there. And I'm very happy to say that this film did not suck at all. And it truly was a breath of fresh air. And we're talking about alien invasion thrillers, probably the most saturated genres out there. And this film somehow made it work even without a single word being said. This film follows Bryn, a young woman who lives in a simple, solitary life on her own. She's an artist and she makes clothes and sells them online. But one night, she's awakened by alien intruders in her house and she has to find a way out of this. Home invasion thrillers have been around for years, like Don't Breathe, Funny Games, those are some of the classics, but they mostly involve humans, rarely aliens, except the third act of Signs. And this film is technically a third act of Signs, but it takes that to an extreme level and builds on that. Before I watched this movie, I fully expected this to be in the realm of like Signs or Panic Room, but what I got is certainly more than that. Richer than what I'd expected, and almost too much of a good thing. It turned from straight up horror to drama really quickly at the end. That being said, the last 15 minutes of the movie is very interesting and it's definitely going to get people talking. To be honest, I was not very on board at first. I was not entirely sure of the director's intent. It was a bit unclear of what it's trying to say. It almost felt like it was trying too much. People are going to hate this film for that reason, and that's completely fair. But I wouldn't say it didn't work for me. There's definitely things I didn't completely get at that moment, but I felt like I was in good hands because of the director. It felt to me like the director knows exactly what he's doing in a weird way, but not entirely sure how to present it, because it's interesting because the film started with so many questions feed it to the audience, like why is she alone? Why do people hate her? Why all this isolation? And you can't help but wonder if the ending is going to deliver because of all these unanswered questions for almost the entire runtime of the movie. And the film definitely has a way of exploring these questions, rather vaguely but very intriguing. And this is where I find the movie at its peak, when horror meets drama. There are a couple of scenes that had me on the edge completely and very emotional. But what I find the most interesting is the film's portrayal of isolation. Like, I felt so lonely when watching the film. I felt lonely with her. It was so weird. I was worried for her, and this made up for some really fantastic sequences. Like, the movie made it very clear that no one will save her, not even the aliens. And what I find impressive is that it didn't feel like a gimmick. Like, the idea of her being so secluded, almost zero to none human interactions, no dialogue, is a bold move by the director. And it all felt very natural in a way, like it's an unconscious choice that the director made. I didn't realize this until halfway through the movie. I was like, wait a minute, not a single word has been said yet. And this shows the clear vision the director has for the movie. Even though the ending didn't completely deliver, but the idea was there, and it made up for some pretty emotional scenes which dealt with trauma and forgiveness. It definitely went to places I certainly didn't expect, at least not in an alien movie. The technical side of the film is unexpectedly great. Like, it has no business going this hard with a small budget like this. Incredible camera movements, especially in the first act, really well filmed. And I personally really like the grey aliens. I thought they looked great. Some people are gonna dislike it and hate it because of the conventional look, but I thought they looked disturbing enough. There are pretty cool alien designs. I like the one in the trailer with the spidey toes. There's also like a little kid alien in the film, which took me by surprise. The score is really good as well. But the highlight of the film is definitely no other than our lead performance, Kaitlyn Denver. She's essentially what made the movie great. Completely stole the show because there's literally no one else in the film. I believe I've only seen her in Unbelievable, but she also apparently voiced Cassie in Uncharted 4. Like, that's amazing. And if Naughty Dog's making Uncharted 5, please bring her back, because I would like to see more of her. Anyways, No One Will Save You features some pretty strong directing and acting, very interesting concepts. Although the ending is not for everyone, I think it's still a very nice attempt in making an original alien invasion movie, and the fact that this film has no dialogue makes it worth watching just for the sake of it. A really solid 7 out of 10. I'll be seeing you soon. Bye.